Hello, everyone. Welcome to Silent Podcast's second episode about Big Brother, a silent podcast where we're anything but silent. My name is Sarah Yell, and
I'm Cheyenne. Oh,
Please, no, sorry. I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Ganja.
and I'm still Cheyenne.
okay, Ganja said he had a lot to talk about, so I don't know if you want to lead us today. Where you want to start?
I just want to start with I loved how messy this week was. I don't know, everybody been using that word messy, but it literally encapsulates everything about this week. It takes it all around and puts it in a little ball and formulates it because Victoria did not come to play. She said, I'm about to do whatever I want to do, convince you what I need you to convince you of, and you're going to have to just deal with it. So, I mean, starting from the beginning, Vic winning HOH, how do you feel like her energy was like coming in? Like, do you think she always was going to be LaToya getting out the house, or do you think she could have been swayed any other way?
I think she was always going for LaToya. I think that Julie was her number one in the house, and when LaToya was the reason that Julie went, I think that she was coming with a vengeance this week.
Right, same. I feel like since like day 2, she was like, LaToya's gotta go. And like she was like to LaToya, let's form an alliance. Every time she had a conversation with LaToya, as soon as LaToya left the room, she was like, no. Like she didn't trust it. And also vice versa, LaToya was kind of the same way. But LaToya wasn't really pressed by her as much as Victoria was. Even though I was a Victoria stan, like she wasn't really pressed about it.
The way Toya spoke to Vic was very like condescending. And so I think that's a part of the reason why she was going on her HOH if that's the last thing she did. Because like you said, Toya did tell Vic to her face multiple times, like you weren't even a thought, which is not the compliment she may have thought that was.
Right.
Especially for someone who's like very energetic, very makes the time to talk to anyone. You don't want to tell her like you're an afterthought and you're basically playing for 7th, 8th, 9th place. Victoria didn't come to play for 8th place.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like this was a correct move for Victoria? I guess that's the real question, because I personally feel like, yes, Toya didn't give you the warm welcome that you was wanting, but I don't think Victoria was high on Toya's hit list, if that makes sense, or that side's hit list at that point. Yeah. So I don't know if it was the best for Vic to officially show that other side that she was against him.
I would more argue, though, who was Victoria high? Like, whose list was Victoria high on?
Right.
Like, maybe you could argue she shouldn't even have won the HOH and she should have thrown it. But who was really going for Victoria? Yeah, and of the people in the house, I would say LaToya was someone who not only wasn't really working with Victoria, but made it pretty. Oh, like Victoria was aware that LaToya didn't want to work with her because Victoria went to LaToya and wanted to make an alliance, and she was just shut down. I think that really hurts. Like, there's got to be some personal hurt feelings there.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, I was definitely having that same thought of no one was targeting Victoria. So her best bet was to put up 2 Sunsetters that were definitely not working with her. So in my eyes, she had a pretty good HOH. Yeah. She could have been smoother with Jet and Ty, but
no. Like from my perspective, I feel like that was a perfect game move for her. Like as a fan, crushed that LaToya got evicted, of course. But like, you know, from a player's perspective, that was a good game move because like I've came to you on multiple occasions. I proposed alliances with you, and it hasn't been solidified. So if you're like kind of soft turning down my alliance, that means you're too comfortable, and you got to get the comfortable people out. So I feel like getting LaToya then and there was a good game move because later on down the line, that probably would have been harder.
Mm-hmm. I just got one gripe with how everything went down. I just feel like you offer up an alliance with somebody and they never were empowered to actually put you in danger or save you. But the moment you get into power, you put one of them up. Like that to me does not show that you wanted to work with me. Because even if you're giving me weird vibes at first, I'm going to try to introduce a reason for you to have to work with me, hence keeping you off the block and keeping you safe. So you don't have a direct reason to go against me. So it's kind of like I felt like Victoria wanted her cake and eat it too with get LaToya out and showing the guys that she wanted to work with them. So I guess that's my only thing with Victoria. But I agree with you guys. Ultimately, I think she needed to get LaToya out the house. It was just timing for me in why she was leaving.
Well, name some names. Who do you think Victoria should have put up?
I kind of mentioned this last week, and I still kind of stand strong with this. And I feel like Tara hopped into a position that she didn't expect to be in, and Tina, but now they're actually power brokers in the game by sitting directly in between both alliances. Because personally, that's the perfect place I would want to be, because you shouldn't go for me because you got a whole nother side that could take you out, and that's actually formidable adversaries against you. So I would say Tara could have been somebody she went against.
Oh, you're saying Tara should have been put up?
Yes.
But why would you put up someone who, in my eyes, is an opportunity to bring onto your side versus someone who is fully on the other side?
It's all about threat levels with me personally, and Tara has a lower threat level than LaToya. So you want to get people out with lower threat levels early. So when the game does get thick and you are a target, there's multiple targets still left in the game and you're not kind of exposed.
But then,
she wanted to get out of. What was that?
Other than like Victoria's HOH, there was only one other real HOH, and that was Austin's. And you saw how long LaToya lasted in that. You know what I mean? So like not putting her up. Imagine who was she supposed to put up? Somebody that kept her, like everybody basically. Sorry, I'm trying to say it. Okay, so you're saying the other side didn't have the opportunity to win an HOH to like show that they wanted to work with her. Okay, so one person did it. That was Austin. Who else was she meant? You know what I mean? Who else was she meant to put up? And like LaToya lasted very long in that HOH. That's a threat. She lasts long in a few comps. That's a threat. In my eyes, put up the people that are lasting the longest in the comps that aren't yourself, so that when it comes down the line, you don't have to try so hard to win the comps because everybody left is like people that are not that good at comps.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Victoria is a lion, and I think LaToya is a lion as well. And I don't think you want another lion in the game to take away your sheep.
I agree. Exactly. No, they're both strong players, and it's hard for two strong players to be in the same space.
Mm-hmm. It's just too bad they didn't pick. I wanted them to work together. I just wish LaToya had taken her up on the deal. I thought that was interesting that you were saying you wouldn't get into an alliance if neither you empower. You don't think that it's as legitimate of an alliance. Is that what you were saying, or did I misunderstand that earlier?
No, I mean I agree. No, I don't know who said that, but
I thought you did. I must have misunderstood what you meant.
I could have said something like that, but I feel like an alliance that comes when you're in power is different than an alliance that comes to you when the other person is in power. Like it's all about when people come to you and why they come to you, and I feel like Victoria should have joined the Eyeballs and got that solidified, but I think she should have positioned herself right dead smack in the middle of both alliances. Like that's my whole thing. Like the spot that Tara is in, I feel like Vic could have easily been in that spot by taking Tara out, because if she takes Tara out, both sides aren't really that mad that Tara's gone. Am I right?
I think you're missing that Victoria wanted to make a big move. So that may have been better for you, but she didn't want to pass through, she wanted to make that HOH matter.
I mean, this is all also speculation because we don't know what's about to happen in a few weeks. And evidently with the person who won HOH coming up, she may not even be on the block. So it may not have been a bad move. But I was just saying kind of position wise, I would want to be positioned in a certain way. I'm also actually very disappointed in how LaToya campaign or lack of campaign there was. Yeah. I feel like she let people go that didn't need to go. And if she would have worked a little bit harder, she might have had a better chance to stay.
No, I see that too. Yeah, you go.
Well, I was going to bring it back to Josh's eviction because there were a few things I wanted to talk about before Victoria won HOH. So Sarah, you can go ahead.
Oh gosh, I already forgot my thought.
Okay, then we can go back. So, I'm okay. So Josh obviously voted out unanimously, and the main thing that Vic was citing as a reason for Latoya to be on the block and to go home was that she was trying to do that last minute flip like an hour before the eviction. And there's a lot to talk about in just that hour. But I specifically want to say that there's a trend of Big Brother Canada players like not going as hard for themselves as they can during those last minutes. Like we saw Josh literally cleaning in the bathroom before his eviction, whereas at least Rohan was like kind of like, oh, everyone's being pulled into rooms. Am I safe? What's going on? Like I like how Rohan was a bit more proactive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him in general.
Right,
but...
no, I got you.
Yeah, the character arcs of this like season have been woo 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 woo.
Exactly.
So you feel like
Kiefer, am I a Kiefer fan now compared to last week? I don't know. but
Kiefer's turning into a...
Sorry, speaking of Rohan, I wasn't like too into the feeds this week, but like, do y'all want to like discuss like the fights that were happening on the feeds against him and Latoya? The fights.
Oh, like the pantry stuff?
Yeah, like I heard it was like on multiple occasions.
Oh, okay.
Well, did you guys?
No, I didn't catch it. No, I didn't catch like most of it.
Okay, so I can recap it if you guys want.
Yeah, because I saw most of the aftermath on the feeds, but I didn't see much of the actual in pantry talk.
Yeah, because they showed. Did you guys watch the episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think it was in the episode when Kyle and Rohan kind of cornered Kiefer. Was the fight related to because when Kiefer and Latoya were upstairs, they were just kind of having a casual conversation, and somehow like fireworks got brought up, but it didn't really mean anything, and Ro overheard that and misinterpreted that as them trying to like cause drama. And so then when they went to the pantry downstairs to kind of confront Kiefer about it, Kiefer was saying that they were going to get like start it soon or something. And he was talking about dinner, but they thought they meant like some big drama fest. Like, I don't know if they thought like house meeting or what. And so it just was very confrontational for no reason. And Latoya kind of defended Kiefer. And then I thought for me, when you're in the house, tensions are high. Those kind of arguments happen. I thought the thing that really bothered me was when Latoya tried to leave the situation and Ro followed her out and wouldn't leave her alone. That made me very uncomfortable because I know those kind of things would just make me just feel very panicky. So
I hate to take their side, but honestly, like, I don't think they went into the pantry with the intent of having like a full-on thing. Like, because one, they had Kyle, like Kiefer lied to Kyle and said Victoria was the one who tried to flip the house. So that was one of the things they were like, what's going on about? And then the other thing was that the way Toya came in and then left, like she was a mom or something, it was like, I'm going to say my piece. I don't like how you're doing this. Bye. Without kind of like giving any rationale. I do understand why Rohan was like, but wait, what are you like doing? Like, let's finish this. And he did like leave her alone once she was like, I'm not having this conversation. But I can completely see why when someone's walking away after saying, I'm the liar, you're the worst, why I would then walk after them and be like, what did I lie about? You know, especially when you're like so into being a truth person. It's like for Toya to be like, I don't tell lies, and then tell other people that they told lies and not say what they lied about. It's just very like frustrating. So I can see why he wanted answers from that as well.
Yeah, like the tension is running high in his house because everybody's playing wild. Like everybody is
exactly
letting a lot of information go, but still keeping information to themselves. So it's a lot of tit for tat, and I can't say this with my whole chest because I've never been in this position. But I personally, in my real life, don't take a lot of things that serious. Even if people are insulting me or just saying like, you know, mean things or whatever, I try not to take it serious because it don't really matter. But I would hopefully take that in the game with me, and I'll hopefully be able to like diffuse an argument like this easily. But it's easy for this to get escalated when you're competing for, you know, money and you're getting lied to constantly.
Okay, I'm hearing a weird feedback noise.
Is that just me?
It could be me.
Oh, it went away. Okay. Oh, also another thing, the problem in the pantry was that, okay, this is kind of dual-sided, but Kiefer, Ty, and Jed, I believe, were telling Tina and Tara that Rohan and Kyle were going after them, which was also a lie, which was another thing they were trying to get like out of Kiefer.
Oh yeah, the women.
Yeah. And then Tarantina left that conversation not really feeling good about either side. So I think that's kind of how they like solidified their little middle thing.
Which I like for them. I think they're playing. If we want to actually dive into them, I feel like the three of them are playing the situation very well. Like that is good for them. Like sitting where they're sitting in that alliance because they're not the biggest threats on either side. Kind of just flop in the middle. The spot that Victoria could have been by herself, they created that in the whole alliance.
Yeah, because you would think that like Ty and Jed would be the biggest threats in the house. You know, just visually, like two large men. I feel like are always targeted, especially in a bromance. But they really have been kind of flying under the radar a bit. I know Rose
Right.
said that he would have put him up, but I don't think that would be the case now. Honestly, I feel like Ro has more enemies than he did a week ago. So,
Which is crazy because he's been on the block, so he has to like really fight and fight and fight. I'm not understanding why they keep. I guess he keeps in this situation. Is it because he's on slop for like the third week in a row? Like, do you think that is making him like
Edgy.
grumpy.
yes, very grumpy, very edgy, not being able to like actually have positive conversations? He's not really having negative conversations, but you know, he's probably irritable because he hasn't really eaten a lot of food.
Right.
Rohan is to me like the quintessential business student that's very like, I'm gonna make a profit, blah blah blah, but it's very like at the expense of the humanity of others. And I think that's like how he talks to others. It's very like boom, boom, boom. But it's like we don't like you conversationally, and being a good social player is usually about being liked as a person.
Yeah, I agree.
Is Ro a good ally? Like in your interpretation, would you want to work with Ro?
I think he's going to be 100% loyal to the people. He's never going to betray Kyle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was
Unless he
gonna say
has
that.
to.
Definitely.
I don't even know if he would campaign against him, but I think he would betray anyone else in the house at this point. I think there's people who would betray their number one ally. I guess is my point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's that person.
The way he causes friction with like anyone, no, I personally wouldn't want to work with Ro because I would want someone who's a bit more low key to hang out with, like Tina, Brayden. One of those would probably be my better picks.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting though, because I was like watching the show and he didn't really like when I watched it yesterday. He didn't really like make the edit. Like I'm trying to think of notable Ro moments and I can't think of one. I only know Rohan from the feeds. That's really it. Which is interesting.
And that's weird for his name to kind of be in the ether a lot between almost getting the vote flipped on you and you kind of flipping another vote on somebody else to make sure they go home. He's very invisible, which is actually very crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely said one of the most annoying things I've ever heard on reality TV, which is like, why can't I relax for just one day? Just one day. Like, bitch, you're not here to relax.
You're at work.
You're here to play a game.
You're literally at work. Like, you have to produce. Like, you have to be a TV person. Like, you're on TV. Like, to complain about being on TV is actually kind of crazy, but it could be the peanut butter and jellies.
You probably read about from other seasons. Some people are like, oh, I'm so bored. So many lazy days. He's like, where are my lazy days? They do keep each other on their toes, though. There's always some sort of drama. Like
Yeah,
the most relaxed day was like when they did drag. I think was the most relaxed day they had in the house, and they still had an activity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, what were you gonna say?
I was about to ask you all about Brayden because I don't hear enough talk about Brayden, and I really wanted to get your interpretations on his position or how his gameplay is in the game.
I don't think I have any opinion on Brayden really, besides the fact that he's a duo with Austin. I feel like that's kind of how I see him right now. He definitely is very low key and under the radar.
Yeah, I think he's the more likable of the two. Like just generally in the house, that people are more willing to work with Brayden than Austin. I don't
Right.
know if it's a personality thing or if it's because Austin won an HOH, but it seems to me like Brayden's in the better position.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So if you were in the house right now, you want a HOH, who would like the two people would you nominate?
Right now,
Pick a
I
side.
guess
Pick a side.
it's hard because we see the whole landscape, but I guess seeing everything, um, oh, this is very tough. I would probably put up. Ooh,
I can go if you need time.
yeah, you go. Yeah, you go. Because I'm
Okay.
struggling.
So, assuming I'm aligned with like Vic, Brayden, and Austin, I would go after like Jed and Kyle. I would just put up
Mm,
like two big boys, and when you come off, your pair's going up.
I
Have
got
fun.
it.
alright.
I will put up Kyle and Rowe, Kyle as a target because I feel like Rowe is a really solid ally. Like you guys were saying earlier, I feel like Rowe, if Kyle is not there, he will be loyal to whoever's wanted. Whoever gets him after Kyle, basically.
But I feel like everybody's saying Colin Rowe should go up, Colin Rowe should go up. But what they don't realize is Kyle is like with Kyle the target, what they don't understand is Kyle is well liked in the house. Kyle and Rowe are on the block. Rowe's going home 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I agree with Cheyenne. I would definitely put up two parts of the duo. What about you, Sarah?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I think I would put up Beth for one. And then I couldn't think about, I was really thinking about the other one. I might go Kyle. I might do Kyle Beth.
Mm.
I really I really liked when when Beth, Toya, Jed, and Ty went to Victoria to like try to appeal to her, when she was like, "Should I put up Beth? You want me to put up Beth?" And everyone was just like silent because it's like if you take Toya down, I'm gonna put up someone that you don't want up,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just like not able to say anyone else. I think Beth wanted Tara on the blog, but Victoria was like obviously not going to do that.
Mm.
My thing with the Colin Rowe situation, I was actually thinking about Beth too. That's why I had to pause. I was thinking Colin Rowe at first, but then I was like, Beth actually got to go up there and go home too. But the Colin Rowe thing, I do feel like I get what Jeanette you are saying with they do have an infatuation with Kyle over Rowe. I don't know what it is, but that's a person you do not want in the game. You want to keep the person that's not good with the social relationships. So
Exactly.
I would wonder if they will be able to get to that point, but I don't think they would. Like I think they will keep Kyle, which is crazy, but the person who will need to go is Kyle because he's better at developing those social bonds.
But with Josh's like eviction, like them evicting him and he had zero ties to the house, I don't think they're thinking about that. Maybe later on in the game, but right now they're not thinking about let's get out somebody who has more friends. They're really thinking about let's get out the person we don't like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
100%.
period.
I
Which is
think that
messy.
we have to think about like what type of game player we are as well, because that's going to affect who we think needs to go up. Because like personally, I want to keep the big targets in the game still. That's who I like. I want the boys to stay for a while. I would want the Latoyas to stay for a while. I don't want. That's why I want the people who have connections but aren't as threatening on paper, which I think is Beth and Kyle.
Yeah.
So before we get to like who currently is HOH, because I think that's where we're going, I do want to discuss a couple of things about Kiefer. Like one, he's emerging as a comp beast. Two, found out like day 14 he has children. Where was that? Why was Tara getting the mom edit when there's other parents in there?
Yeah.
And three, why does Kiefer continue to self-sabotage and self-sacrifice for
my
people
God.
that he feels like he's on the bottom with?
Because he's a real one. He's used to that. I feel he's used to. I don't say he's. I don't know. He has a struggle life, but I feel like he's used to sharing with people he needs to share with, and he feels like I feel like he's a protector. Ultimately, like he gives me that protector type of vibe, but he's also able to let that go because he played the fool this whole week, like he was going home to the point where Latoya really was confused. of if she was going home or not.
I just hate anyone going to the HOH and telling them that they need to put them up. That's
I
just
agree.
Yeah.
I
awful
agree.
in my eyes.
It's like a rule that I guess you should just know. Just act like you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Just act like it didn't happen because it could be bigger fish to fry. Like they're not even worried about you.
Or like people as soon as they're nominated are like, just vote me out. I want to like I hate that. Like even playing orgs on Twitter, I hate that. Like if you're my ally and you say that to me, I'm voting you out. Like even if you change your mind later, I'm still voting you out.
Just quit. Just
Yeah.
quit. Do not waste my time. Do not waste my week. Do not. It's like he did this 3 different times, I think. Like with the Josh flip, he was trying to keep Josh, even though it was better for him if Rose stayed. And then he threw Victoria out there to get the eyes away from Latoya. And then he threw himself in front of Victoria. I'm just like,
You would rather
what
have
are you
someone
doing?
quit? You would rather have someone quit than ask to be voted out?
You're basically
Absolutely.
quitting.
Yeah.
Oh, I would rather the opposite. 'Cause, like I don't have to vote you out. It's my choice. I feel like when you quit, it's like you take that choice away, and it would have ruined Victoria's HOH. I think her HOH just would have been over, and I don't think that's very fair to her.
A reset week.
I
Yeah.
mean, yes and no. I mean, she did put Kiefer up, so
Yeah, because that happened
Yeah.
to me in an org recently. Was someone quit because they couldn't handle being on the block, and it was just so frustrating to me because like they weren't who I wanted to go home. Victoria didn't want Kiefer to go home, so if he quits and it takes away her HOH, that just sucks for her.
Right.
See, I'm saying that under the assumption that she would get to put up someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that's what happened
fair,
with
that's fair.
Cody. Hashtag redacted from
Yeah.
BB19.
When
That
he
man had to
nominated
put
half
up
the
that.
house.
It was crazy. That was well deserved, but had to nominate half the house because of a quit. So it was basically same situation. Probably it would have probably even been. I guess that was kind of worse. But I like actually the HOH comp. Actually, so Toya goes home by a 63 vote, and I really genuinely think the half of the Sunsetters were blindsided, and they had to, muster up the courage to look poised and compete in this HOH, which I actually like. I felt like the shuffleboard comp was actually visually cool to look at, and it wasn't too complicated to know who scored what.
Because I hate when they make the comps like look impossible. Because like as a viewer, you're like, what normal person is doing this? Like shuffleboard, that's kind of easy. Like you just push the puck, I assume. Like that's all there is to it.
I kind of love when they have to like do the little spin thing and then try to shoot them out, just because it's funny to see.
Oh, like Bowl Arena?
Yes.
When they bowl?
Like
Yeah,
that one.
Why were you not on production of Big Brother? That would have been so much more fun.
Throw up. I'm just kidding. I hate seeing throw up on screen.
Yeah. Same.
But yeah, Latoya was the epitome of when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah. That's what everyone's been talking about online, about how she didn't campaign and she took too much of the high road to being on Big Brother. But I don't know if you're blindsided. Like if she was staying, like if we as an audience knew she was staying, I don't think it would have looked weird. I don't
Agreed.
know.
I agree with that.
You shouldn't always feel safe. I think she did feel too safe when she really shouldn't have. But
I feel like every time you're on the block, you still do it just to appease the people. Be like, hey, just in case you were considering it, here's why I'm good for your game.
Yeah,
Keep
but
me.
if my like number one ally, if I like pitched to me why they should stay, I think I'd be kind of annoyed. Is that weird? Like I would be like, why do you think you need to pitch to me? Shouldn't you know that I'm keeping you?
Well, not your number one, but Tina and Tara, like, you haven't really talked to them all week. Just be like, hey guys, just wanted to touch base. Why you should keep me.
But that's the big question. If you've been locked in with this person before you was on the block, you're the vulnerable person. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I know you have to like get those relationships, get those votes, but as somebody who would realize that you might be in that position, you will want somebody to be at least extending an olive branch to you. I don't know when that Toya and Tina relationship soured, but it just seemed like it was just good and then bad. It wasn't bad, but it was just good and then it was nothing out of nowhere. So I don't really understand how that happened. So I don't think they were that close of allies, but maybe it was an allies of convenience at that point. basically.
No, let me tell you. Okay, so Tina has been telling Toya since Sunsetters began that she felt like she was on the bottom. And then Toya tries to pull another flip week 2, telling everybody to change their vote. Tina is feeling officially like a soldier, like she's being told to command and she's not being able to direct. That pushed her to Tara. Therefore, she felt like she wasn't like a part of the core, which is the same way Kiefer started to feel. On that note, I feel like Toya had so many like clues that she should have been campaigning harder, such as the first 2 weeks when she knows how much people talk behind the scenes. So she should have been aware of that. Two, she told Ro straight to his face that she doesn't like him. She should have tried to repair that. And she really just should have tried with literally everyone. She went to Austin and was like, "We're good. Yeah. Bye." Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was a little poor. I'm not gonna do it. The campaign was slightly poor, but I don't know. I agree. No, I agree with this. I just felt like as her allies, don't leave me on the block. Just struggling. She should have just talked to Tina more, Tara. But what I think really, we'll see officially. I think Tina needs somebody to lead her. Like I don't see Tina as a leader. Like I think Tina is supposed to lead, but I don't think Tina wants to lead, if that makes sense. Tina is very okay with being equals with somebody versus being a leader.
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of a lone wolf in a sense. Like she's gonna do what she wants to do, regardless of you're my ally, but I'm still gonna do what I want to do. That's what I kind of like about Tina. Like pack mentality wise, I feel like it was Latoya, and then she was the alpha. The Jed and Ty were like the I don't know what second in command is. Omega.
Betas.
Her
Beta,
henchmen or
exactly the
something.
beta, and then Tina's just like lone wolfing it, and I like that. Like I like gameplay like that.
Honestly, I kind of feel differently about that analogy, just in the way I feel like Tina is an alpha in like the traditional sense of being in the middle, making sure the back is good, making sure the front is good, doing some, surveillance. Like true wolf alphas watch out for everyone, and she wanted that community of everyone having a role and a place, whereas betas are usually the ones who like to bark loud, like to be in charge. And yeah, so I really think that Tina is leader potential if she has the right people to work with.
Okay, I can agree with that actually.
Do you think there's more betas in the house then? Or alphas?
Oh, all these bitches are betas.
I think a lot of them. I think a lot of people are betas. I think they're strong betas though. Like they're not like the average. Like, oh, I need somebody to do something for me. I think these are the betas that are gonna try stuff, and that's why these betas are messing up, and that's why it's so messy because they are playing like 88% games overall, kind of 85%. Some people even 81s, but I think a lot of them are Bs. I'm trying to say, like a lot of them are like beta players and they're trying to make moves.
Yeah, I feel like the only one who's not really playing is Tara. That's the only person I would say is maybe Omega. I don't really know.
Okay, I have a question. This is about Tara, and I'm happy you brought up Tara. So Tara keeps exposing herself in conversations and like relinquishing information she probably don't need to relinquish, like who her pawns would be and who she would put up. I actually think that's kind of smart because if that rumor goes through the grapevine of the house, then people start thinking, oh, Tara about to put Jed up as a pawn, so Tara not gonna come for me. So I'm okay with leaving Tara in the game because I at least know where one of her nominees would be. How do you guys feel about that?
I think a lot of people do that though. Like I think Josh did that with saying Austin was going to be his target. I think Jed is a dangerous one though because like as we saw with Ro, Jed gets pretty, I think, I don't know what the right word is, like
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision when someone says his name. I don't think he handles it very well, which maybe
Mm-hmm.
no one does, but I think he is especially
Yeah, he's
very
ready to call a
agitated.
house meeting.
Yeah, exactly. So if that's your pawn of choice, and if it gets back to Jed, I don't know if I would be happy with that.
Well, she did tell Jed at that house meeting.
Yeah.
He said, "Who
Oh,
said
yeah?
my name?" And she said,
Yeah.
I just, I don't think they view her as a threat.
No.
I feel like she's a sleeper. I don't really like her as like a player in the game, but I feel like she might be a sleeper.
I don't know how she could win. I know the game's long, things can change, but
I don't know. Final four, I feel like, I don't know.
I don't normally have an early pick, and I said this on the first pod. I was like, I feel like Tara can do it. I was drawn to Tara, so as I feel like if Tara stops leaking information that she does not have to leak, I think Sarah has a really strong chance in getting to the end of the game. And actually, if she's able to, articulate herself the right way, she has a great chance of winning. So, but it just, especially if she plays the game in the position that she's in the middle.
Mhm.
I don't want her to win. She reminds me of Christmas, and I don't like her.
I feel it. It sucks.
I think like my main stipulation with this season, I haven't really watched many BB Can seasons. I feel like with this season, there's no like secret alliances. Like there's no Jason and Danielle. Like you see who's paired up. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe for their game it works, but like it doesn't make sense to me why everybody's showing who they're close with. Like you see Austin and Brady, you see Kyle and Roe, Jed and Ty, Tara and Tina. Like they're not hiding off in corners doing stuff. They're sitting out in the open on the couch having conversations about the game. It makes no sense to me.
Which is amazing because it's so crazy and it's so messy. And
Yeah.
like you said, they're sitting on a couch talking mess about people that's right behind them, or they're sitting at a table with somebody sitting at the couch.
That part when Victoria caught them. Oh my gosh.
She's so bold. How did she just,
that was
how did
good
she say, I'm
TV.
just gonna walk out?
You have to.
That was great TV.
Guys, do you think she heard us? Did she hear us?
Yeah.
And she has great ears because like they have mics on and I could like barely hear what they're saying without the subtitles. So
right.
She has great hearing.
But why they were and it's crazy because like you said, they were having real game conversations in front of everybody. Why would y'all even be talking about that with the whole other alliance, quote unquote? If they're not with y'all, then they're against y'all. Sitting at the counter in the kitchen, just talking. You know what I'm saying? Even if Victoria didn't hear them, what if they heard y'all? Like it's just kind of like it's very bold gameplay.
That's why I feel like I like the Oddball Alliance more because with them like sitting at the table like that, it felt like a school cafeteria to me. Like the jocks and the cheerleaders sitting around talking mess, and like the nerds sitting there just taking it. I don't know. It brought me back some years. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've started each season of Big Brother Canada, and that is par the course. Most people know who's working with who, just by how much they're hanging out together.
Yeah. I wonder. I think it's interesting the fact that all the relationships are so out in the open, and maybe that's why they're out in the open. Like if everyone knows that other people have duos, they don't have to be as scared of their duo. Because honestly, everyone's in a duo besides maybe
Victoria.
Yeah, Kiefer, maybe Beth even. I don't even. Beth's almost becoming a lone wolf.
OMG, I know. As soon as Latoya, I know Latoya was her ally, but as soon as Latoya left, she's like, I can be in my throuple happily. For joy.
Yeah, Beth is in a threesome.
She was happy.
Yeah, but I think she's the bottom of the threesome, though. Is that? Don't you think?
I don't know. I cannot tell you. I think they're all riding with each other to the end. Like I think Jed and Ty might protect each other at the end, but Beth could work some magic. I wouldn't be surprised because Beth has been with them damn near the whole game. So as much as they've been close, Beth has been there alone. So one of them could feel some type of loyalty to Beth. And not to call the shot of Beth against Ty and Jed, but I think if Beth gets to the end with either of them, I think she wins because they shouldn't cut each other, especially if they survive in the game as a pair with Beth. They should not cut each other. They have to cut her. But that's later down the line, I guess. Talk. But yeah, Beth is in a very tentative spot. I think she could be going in the next 2 evictions, or she could be in the end game because she's so social. And I didn't watch too much of the first week, but I listened to a lot of the feeds, and I was hearing that Beth was like, well, I guess technically the second week, but whatever. Beth was in Austin's HOH. Like, she was in there a lot. But she was also hanging out with Jed and Ty a lot. So the fact that she was able to be in so many different places a lot is kind of like, oh, she keeping herself working. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Beth is not in there slacking. So
even during Victoria's HOH, she was comfortable. She was laid out on that bed. So I feel like she really has a good social game. She's not making it too obvious. Well, with the guys, she's making it real obvious, but she's not making it too obvious when she's hanging out with the girls. So yeah.
I do think Beth is interesting though, because I think on paper she is playing a good, like, under the radar game, and yet she seems to be on everyone's radar. Like, I feel like everyone does talk about her and be like, that's a threat. I don't even, not maybe not a threat, but just they're like, you know, like Victoria was like, I see through it. Like, people are looking at Beth. That's why I completely agree with you. She could either go in the next couple weeks or go all the way. Who knows? But that's kind of everyone. I feel like that's everyone.
Slight question.
Well, I don't
that.
think everyone's in danger, really. I mean, Beth is in more danger because she kind of lied to Austin and Brayden, saying that they're her number ones when obviously Ty and Jed are. She went to Victoria saying Kyle was talking so much shit about her. I mean, Beth has been, you know, not great socially with everyone outside of her little throuple.
That's true. But who's really safe right now? I could think of
Tina and Brayden. Them the two people I know.
Tara.
Maybe
I just
Tara.
know.
But so I think Brayden was talked about as an option for this week, though. Am I wrong? Not to bring
I think you're wrong, because Kiefer was talking about Rohan, Kyle, and Austin. Those are his 3 potentials.
Which kind of frustrates me because, I don't know, I like when I play Org, I feel like I play more personally. If I was on the block the week before and now I'm HOH and you voted me out, there's no question you're going up. You know what I mean? Even if we're in alliance, like, there was, as soon as final noms were made, there was no question. They were like, we're keeping Toy. Like, y'all didn't even consider keeping me. So I feel like with me, if I was Kiefer, Jed and Ty, Beth, those would be my noms. But then, like, you got to think what's better for his game. I still feel like, I don't know, if he takes out those big targets, would it be good for his game? Probably not.
I would counter that by saying, if Kiefer was up against anybody but Latoya and they did that, then I'm jumping ship. But I think Kiefer saw how tight they all were, even though they all were in the Sunsetters together. I think he understood why they would want to keep Latoya over him.
Like, but maybe if it was Beth and they kept Beth over him.
Yes, that'd be crazy. But it takes a strong person to forgive people who voted you out. Really, like, if he does not put Ty, Jed, and Beth up, he's forgiving people who almost got him out the house and going against people who saved him, technically.
But is it strong or is it weak? Like, is he sheeping for them? That's it could be either or.
Yeah, I almost think he's not sheeping for them, but almost sheeping for Latoya in a weird way. I think he just had so much respect for Latoya that I think he understands. I think he's like, yeah, I would have kept Latoya over me as well. I get it. You know?
I mean, it definitely hurt his feelings to realize that, like, his fear was true, that he's at the bottom of their alliance. But I think that he also feels more trust with Ty, Jed, and Beth than Rohan and Kyle, especially after the pantry talk, especially, like, since neither of them have won, I'm sure that they would have put Kiefer up. It's like, even though other people have put him on the block, like Austin and Vic, neither of them were, well, Austin did want him out for a bit, but it's like no one's really targeting Kiefer.
Yeah.
No. I like that. No, Kiefer, I feel like he's proven himself to actually be a very good Big Brother player, no matter what, off the strength of him not lashing out against his alliance, who that turned on him because he easily could have did that. So I feel like Kiefer is getting, he tried to cook that beef really crazy, but shout out to him and his gameplay.
Or that could also just be maybe he's given up a bit, because I think he was more sensitive about those things in the beginning. So I don't know if he's just gotten used to it or if he doesn't care as much. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was just a bit awkward and homesick, feeling out of place with all the hot people around him, feeling older, feeling bigger.
Are you saying Kiefer isn't hot? Wait.
You have to
well, that's his words. His words was that he was surrounded by like model types or whatever. Yeah, like, do I find Kiefer's mullet attractive? No, but I don't find many of the house guests attractive. I only find like, who cares? Who cares who I find attractive?
I only found Josh and Julie attractive. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't like.
They don't do it for me.
No offense, Sarah. But
are there any blondes in the house? I feel like there's
Josh was blonde.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah,
I guess the cutest pair in the house is Austin and Brayden. To be honest,
yeah,
Austin is really cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Austin is really cute. Brayden is not that bad either, but Austin's pretty cute.
Yeah, I don't know. He reminds me of like a little brother or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my point is, Kiefer, he's playing much better. I think he was just feeling really awkward the first week. He was feeling a little out of place, but now that he knows that like looks aren't everything or whatever, it's more of a battle of like trust and strategic things. I think he's more comfortable to play his game. I am wondering how he's going to play without his personal coach, LaToya. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I think him winning a comp was definitely a confidence boost. And then I think on the feeds they're saying after he won the comp, he was like, that was for you, LaToya, or something. So I don't know. Maybe because I know me, I played a Survivor game and like somebody was like my number one and then they got voted out. Like it was a live night and you weren't allowed to communicate at all. So I didn't even know who I was voting. And then they got voted out and like I powered all the way to final 3 because I was like, you did that to my partner. So now it's over for y'all. So maybe he might be fueled with that hate.
Yeah,
or like
I
revenge.
was gonna say that's been really fun with the HOHs. There's been a lot of vengeance we found. Like Victoria getting her revenge for Julie, and now Kiefer is getting his revenge for LaToya. I think it's pretty cute, and also it adds a fun dynamic.
It's just crazy that he's not getting revenge for himself. But that's the real.
Wait, was Vic getting revenge for Julie? I thought she just wanted the boys closer to her.
Listen, Shy. Listen, I was on the same tip, Cheyenne. Like I was like, Vic is saying that she's doing this because she does not want LaToya in the game. No, she sees how close that LaToya was with the boys, and she wanted that. And the only reason I feel like that got clarified and solidified is as soon as she knew LaToya was about to be out of the house, she started trying to target Beth. And she didn't target the guys, she targeted Beth. The outliers of the guys. And I don't know if she's trying to work with the boys for real, but I think if she's not, this is a really good play. But if she is, it's kind of toxic. It's actually kind of crazy. Like that you getting all the people out that they working with instead of like forging that relationship with them.
I don't know. I don't really like that narrative. Like when LaToya was like, "Oh, she just wants to get me out, to get closer to you guys." I don't know. I didn't like it because I personally didn't see that. Like, I don't know. I just don't like that narrative. But
I wish it wasn't true. To be honest, I don't know if it's true or not. I can't clarify that. But I wish I didn't have that interpretation because I felt that exact same way. Just because the Beth hate train off Rick. Even though Beth is very sketchy, it's just, it's actually a lot. Because I felt like a lot of the energy was going against Beth, but I'm like, you could have put Beth on a block instead of Kiefer. So if you really didn't like these two, because it didn't seem like she had a bad relationship with Kiefer. And if she didn't want LaToya or Beth to be with Jed or Ty, like, put them both up, to be honest. But I guess she wanted to play with Kiefer life in the game. So
Well, I mean, she had her reasons. For Kiefer, he lied on her
yeah,
to
yeah.
Kyle. And then for Latoya, she didn't respect her saying no to the flip. Like, Toya kept going to her and saying, "You're the one we need to flip the thing on Ro." So I can see why there's more of a reason for Victoria to go after Latoya and Keith than Beth. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, obviously she can have multiple narratives for why she wants someone to be gone, but it definitely feels like Beth being close to the people she wants to be close to is one of them.
Because I do know she wanted an all-black alliance. So, like, maybe she's just like, y'all would rather work with the white girl than work with me? Like, what's going on? You know? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a strategy in Survivor, too, where someone's like, I want to be their number one, so their number one's got to go.
I'm most definitely down to cut allies, but she's not trying to be number one. She's trying to be number two because Ty and Jade are automatically each other's number one. If that makes sense. Like she's trying to tag along to a 3-stack where there's already a solid 2-stack in that place. Because I'm most definitely about the let me get your ally out so you closer to me. Like I'm on that train because it makes sense. As long as I'm not going against my ally and I'm going against your ally to make sure you have to work with me, I feel like that's fair. But take out one of them too to make sure you have one of them solidified. But we'll see. I don't know. It's just so much game left. It's only week 3. Like it's so much happened in these first 3 weeks, which this is why I love the season because they have been playing very messy. The HOHs have been spread out. It's been different types of HOHs, different types of moves being made, and flips.
Every week is a flip.
Every week is a flip, a blindside. Like they're low-key really giving us years of Big Brother that I feel like that we wanted. If that makes sense, all in one couple weeks or whatever. Hopefully all in one whole season, but it's shaping up to still be a lot of big targets in the house, which we love.
I feel like nominating anybody isn't there's no safe move to be made. Like you can't be like, oh, you're a punk for putting these 2 people up because that's a safe move. No, it's not. Everybody I feel like is a big target in their own way.
Yeah, as long as it's from the other side of the house, then your noms are fine in my eyes. In a way. Who do you think Kiefer should put up? Have we talked about that yet? I don't think we have. Did we?
Oh yeah, we did.
Did we?
Well, we said who we would put up.
Yeah,
I feel like for his game, Kyle and Ro are obvious. Like you should put them up. But I feel like if you're not going to put up the people that voted you out, put up the 2 HOHs that nominated you. Like Austin and Victoria should go on the block because they nominated him. Like they play with his life. It just makes sense. But I don't know.
Sorry, I'm trying to see if Kiefer made his nominations yet. Because it looks like they're talking about.
Yeah, I know that there was rumors.
Kiefer waking up.
I think there was rumors of. I thought maybe it was Kyle and Austin. But
yeah, it looks like it hasn't happened yet.
Because I'm pretty sure he did tell Victoria to her face that she's not going up, which I thought was very surprising. Like it's one thing to not do it, but to tell her to her face, I was very to not change your mind later if you have to. Like so, she's not even going to be a backdoor. I don't think.
Yes,
which I think is smart, to be honest, because I think you should put people up who, if they win HOH, might put you up, and I don't think Victoria would put him up the next time if she wins next week.
No,
but I hope. I think the people who he has as options would put him up again.
I wholeheartedly agree with that, Sarah. Like I feel like the move wasn't to put up Austin. Vic. The easy move is to put up Vic and Austin because they both put Kiefer on the block. But the better move is to show that person that, listen, I'm over this. You put me on the block. I stayed. I'm not coming after you. You don't have to keep putting me on the block. And basically, don't put them on the block and try to basically risk a relationship to be like, okay, you did me dirty. I did you a solid. There's no reason for you to do me dirty again. Don't do it. So hopefully he's in a good graces with Victoria.
Yeah, and Kiefer.
Wait, who are you saying? Who are you saying he should nominate?
No, I'm saying
should not do Victoria.
Yes, I said he should not nominate Victoria for the reason of trying to build that relationship of you know, you did me dirty, and I'm not gonna do you dirty.
Yeah, and also I
I
think
would
that
disagree.
yeah, no, I can
I
see your
mean,
face. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
he has working relations with literally everyone except Austin and Vic prior to her putting him up. Like he was close with Kyle and Rohan, he was close with Tina and Tara, he's close with Ty and Jed and Beth. So I mean, to me, the easiest option and the best option would have been Vic and Austin. I'm glad he
Yeah,
didn't, but I don't think it was
yeah.
necessarily smart.
I think Kyle and Ro
Well,
ruined that relationship and have made it quite clear that they're not friends with Kiefer anymore.
yeah,
I think they despise each other now.
I don't know.
I don't know.
To
I saw
me,
them bro it out the next day.
Oh,
yeah, I think
okay.
they did. To me, I feel like Kiefer. I told my friends this. Kiefer gives me very much middle child. Like, like when he was on the block next to Toya, he was ready to fall on his sword for Toya. And like, even though people have done him dirty in the game, voting him out, nominating him, he's still like, hey, I still want to work with you. I'm not nominating you. So yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm a middle child. I feel like I would have done that. Like realistic. Like when I play these orgs, I'm gonna play crazy because I don't care. But if I played in real life, I feel like that's how I would play.
Yeah. And I think with Victoria, I think he does have an opportunity there to, if you can kind of fake it and like thank Victoria, be like, thank you. Like I was the pawn, like you kept me safe. Like, thank you. Like I want to work with you. I think that she would be receptive to that. And I think that Victoria
Yeah.
has a lot of fish to fry now. So I really don't think he should put Victoria up. I don't think he should. I think not putting her up this week will solidify that if she wins the next one, I don't think she would put him up in return.
I feel like he has the future of being a block star. Once someone puts you up, it's so easy to say, well, I put you up once, you can be a pawn again.
Yeah.
But then again,
But that's
you
if you
cannot
don't win
play scared,
HOHs.
right? But you cannot be scared in this type of game. Like, and I would hope that all of these players would know that, like, you actually have to make bigger moves because it's only 11 people left, right? So it's only so many more HOHs, so many more times we're able to get people out. So you really gotta be specific with the people you're targeting because if you squander it, you may not get a chance for a minute to get that HOH back, and you might be out of the game before you get to try to take another swing at the people you should have took out when you had that chance.
But who's most likely to have put Kiefer on the block?
Austin
Rohan and
and Vic.
Kyle would have gone for Ty and Jed. Vic would have put him up. Austin would have put him up. I mean,
I don't think they would go Ty Jed now. You think is that still what you think that they would do now?
Yes.
you don't
Yeah.
think Rohan and Kyle would go after Ty and Jed?
I feel like they still would.
You think
And
they
most
You know,
still
like
definitely still would.
realistically, they like people were saying about the feeds. It looks like Latoya was putting the battery in their back, and now that she's gone, they're not really target. I feel like realistically, they still are. Like doing a physical comp, they didn't win the first two physical comps, but doing a physical comp, they're still like a threat. So I feel like they should still be targeted.
Yeah, and Kyle's been really weird with the microaggressions. Like he's going after Ty and Jed for more personal reasons,
Mhm.
which is very gross, but definitely means that they're being targeted.
As to people who wanted to produce a peace treaty between the two roaring sides of the guys, the fact that they're still outwardly trying to go for them, like and then saying negative comments about them, derogatory comments about them,
Yeah.
it's kind of like this is beyond gameplay. That's how I feel. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it has nothing to do with the gameplay. It's kind of like they just don't like them. I don't know really what it is, but hopefully Kiefer gets Kyle out because I think Ro is so much more malleable in the game without Kyle. I'm not giving Ro an excuse because he shouldn't be acting like this, but
Yeah.
I just feel
Which has a
like
personal color.
period. But I just feel like we want to talk about some shit about like the color dynamics. I feel like Ro kind of didn't have anywhere else to go but to Kyle because Braden had Austin, Jed and Ty had each other. Josh was a lone wolf, and then Kiefer a little bit older than them. So I think Ro kind of just gravitated towards Kyle because he was familiar with that type of person because they're more so peers. But I don't know. I just feel like Kyle brings out this weird side to Ro. I don't know Ro like this, but I just feel like Ro would be so much more better in a house without Kyle there.
Yeah, I also think Kiefer is trying to get Kyle out because Kiefer thinks that Kyle's the better player. He's more well-liked. He's the bigger threat. I also think Rohan probably went to Kyle because the rest of his team, when it was still Defenders versus whatever it was, they were very much like not including Ro because most of the Sunsetters were like together and the other Destiny was safe. So it was like Rohan, if they had kept the teams, it looked like he was going to go next.
Right. He was at the bottom, right?
And he hasn't recovered from being on the bottom, which is so crazy to me because I'm swooping up people on the bottom. I'm sorry. I need a squad to come in and go crazy. And the fact that they were trying to orchestrate a squad and you don't take somebody who doesn't have that many allies and you don't try to foster a relationship with them, then you're missing out. But but I don't think the oddballs are going to last. Just saying that. Because I think that side was able to take all the people who were kind of getting disrespected, basically people who were getting discounted in the game, and they all came together to like form some type of establishment. But with two of them on the block, I think it's bad. Like I think they're gonna crumble. Like because I don't think it's built off like the same foundation the Sunsetters foundation was built on.
Yeah, I feel like the Sunsetters are built on friendship, whereas the oddballs, they're just like built on let's get out the Sunsetters. Because as soon as Kiefer won HOH, Austin Braden sitting on the couch talking about let's get Victoria out. For what? Like she just did y'all work for what? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just bad. I kind of wish we could get like a BB 5? Was it BB 5 with Janelle and Kaser in them?
6.
BB 6. I wanted that so bad, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I still have faith.
I think it will. I think it's gonna be two sides.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kyle's gonna go home. Ro's gonna win the next HOH, and then we're gonna flip again.
Yeah,
can't wait.
We can't speculate.
Or Austin will win.
But I feel like those aren't
More
genuine
likely.
friendships. Like the Sunsetters, I feel like they have more of a friendship. The oddballs don't. It's more so. I hate to say this, but like mad hoes link up. Like that's really what it's giving. So I don't know.
That's funny. Someone in the comments said something kind of the opposite, which I thought was this is what someone in the comments said. They said that the Oddballs Alliance was more organically made, while the Sunsetters were forced by the trio.
But that's the interesting point about. I like that comment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That Pinoy Kid, aka Sean, shout out to you. But I like that comment because I feel like the 3 being the structure helped out the alliance be strong from the inside. Like the alliance can't crack from the inside because it's a strong foundation, which actually was 4, but Latoya is now gone, right? But the eyeballs are more sectioned out, so when they do fracture, they're fracturing in 2s. And if you get one of those 2s and you're the solid 3, that's 5 votes right there, or that's just like a decent amount of votes, or that's just a decent amount of people on your side. So I just feel like if the Sunsetters break up, they're just losing 2 stragglers, really, in Tina and Kiefer. But if the eyeballs break up, there's going to be sections of people in the house, and it's more deadly to work with.
Yeah. I kind of disagree with the comment just because it's like the oddballs were formed as a counterattack to Toya, Jed, Ty, Beth. And now that like Toya's gone, they're also like Austin, Braden, I think Ro and Kyle are all like, who cares about Victoria? They don't really care about each other. So it's back to like pairs. And Austin's like really talking about not liking Beth. So yeah, I feel like the oddball's already kind of gone.
Wow, that's funny because a week ago everyone was like the Sunsetters are cracked, like they're gonna be breaking up soon, and now I guess that the whole opposite's happening with the oddballs. So who knows? Maybe we're gonna have some odd setters in a week. You know, who knows what's gonna happen next week?
Which we love these ever shifting alliances.
Yeah, especially when you do a podcast and you have to talk about them.
I definitely feel like the Sunsetters are stronger just because they have that core, whereas the oddballs, there's no core. Like there's just, if they break off, they break off. There's no like 3 people that are like, we're never breaking off from each other. Like, how are you gonna break off Jed and Ty? Like, I visually can't see that. And then Beth is infatuated by both of them. Like, I don't think there's a way you could break them off. Unless, I don't know, she sleeps with one of them and the other one gets mad, but I don't see that happening.
I don't think she's
Yeah,
gonna
they
get that far.
well, apparently she slept with Ty last night and kept him awake. I don't know.
Oh wow.
It's giving me gross. I don't like how they're letting the showmance like get in between them because obviously one of them it's not going to have full-on relations with Beth. And like she's doing her thing by playing both sides, but it's just giving me like gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm liking the gameplay she's doing because if they don't come together and realize that she can destroy them, then that's on them. Like I said earlier, like at a final 3, they need to cut her. Like they need to get her up out of there because if she's sitting at the end with either of them, she deserves it over them because she was able to break up an unbreakable pair at the end of the game that everybody should have been trying to break up.
Yeah.
These are theories, but Beth is in a good position if they don't take her ass out.
I would love a round that'd be similar to like Fessy when he had Caitlyn and Haley on the block where he had to choose between them. I would love for Jed and Beth to be on the block together and Jed win veto, and just for him to have to like make that decision would bring me a lot of joy. Or Ty would have to make this. Jed's on the block, yeah.
Yeah, Ty would have to make the decision. I mean, yeah that'd be crazy.
Because Jed's cutting Beth over. He would keep Ty over. I think that's pretty. I think he's more sure in that relationship than Ty is personally.
I don't know. Because like she was saying she likes Ty better, but she's going to entertain Jed more because she could manipulate him more. So.
Oh, I didn't know she said that. Look at her.
She did say that in the episode. I was like, hello. I don't know. It's weird for me because like Kyle like is weird with the microaggressions, but like Beth is weird with the fetishes. I can't say that word, but you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I got you.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird.
And before we go, I'm starting to observe. I thought Austin wasn't into the showmances, but it seemed like she got her eye out for Kyle. So I'm kind of lost here.
Actually, I see on like the feed updates that I keep getting to my phone, like he's trying to flirt with her, and she's like, no, like she's not having it. And then Beth is like, Beth is being really friendly with Austin, and Austin looks like she wants to hit her.
Yeah.
I feel like that's most people when Beth talks to them, though.
Yeah.
It looked like Kyle is trying to get closer to Austin through flirting, and Austin's just like not into it.
Yeah, he's trying to hold toes with her.
Oh, I didn't know that. The only thing I saw was, and I most definitely could stand corrected, but the only thing I saw was Austin and Victoria talking about Kyle. It's talking about them feeling like he was attractive or whatever. So I didn't know kind of where that came from because I knew Austin is like anti-showmance right now.
Also, speaking of Austin, I know like her HOH, I don't know who she was flirting with. It was either Ty or Jed. But I feel like she has a little animosity with Beth because Beth got it, but she didn't. Like, you know what I mean?
A little jealous.
Yeah. Because there's definitely 2 showmances on Austin's HOH, and then out of nowhere, but they both flipped to Beth.
I have a lot of assumptions on Austin based on what she said about her past, but from what I gather, she's just a bit of like on the Kiefer side of being too awkward to reciprocate properly, and so it turns into a discomfort because she mentioned like having strict parents and being like chubby as a kid. So I think she doesn't really know how to play the flirting game. But she does like Kyle as a person. And she does like Ty and Jed. She just doesn't know how to flirt.
Yeah, I see that. Well, does anyone else have anything else they want to talk about?
I want these nominations to happen.
Oh, I know.
So bad.
I'm stressed.
No, they just said Kiefer just woke up, so maybe we'll get them before midnight. I don't know.
Oh, let's just stay on then for the podcast until we get them.
You're funny. I am rooting for honestly probably everybody in the house to be honest, but Kyle. And if I'm gonna be real, but I would be okay with anybody getting fired. But we need Kyle about this house. And once Kyle leaves, the game breaks up. Like I think it's like people aren't gonna be like so embedded to getting certain people out. I don't know. I think it'll help the game out if some of these pairs get like breaking up because it's not like a pair hasn't left yet.
Yeah,
like
it
we
feels
said
like a
earlier, like
dual game.
It's what was it? Julie, Josh, and Latoya. Latoya might have been on a 3-stack, but her duo left her and went to Tara, so it was like she wasn't even in a duo. So I think our first duo is about to get taken out as long as Victoria does not go home, or one of the duos, basically.
I'm definitely rooting for Ty, Tina, and Brayden. Austin gets like a little asterisk if she can pull some bigger moves. And Victoria. It's like Ty, Tina, Brayden, Austin, Victoria, everyone else.
Yeah. I don't know. Well.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think.
Oh,
who
you
I'm
guys
rooting
don't
for.
have character rankings?
Oh, that's what you're asking.
I think I have Tina as a winner pick. I think Tina would be a fun winner. And then I still like Victoria a lot. I think Tina and Victoria for me.
I feel like anybody that's in final two, somebody's gonna get robbed. I don't know. I feel like to win, it's gonna take a lot of game moves, and like I feel like the jury might be a little bitter if like the game moves are like too far. So I don't know. Character rankings though, I need to see Austin more. I don't know. I feel like she needs to come out of her shell, but Austin's definitely at the top. Victoria's been questionable, but I still love her. You know, Brayden, of course. I like Jed, just because he's a little cute. I don't know. And then everybody else, like, they gotta do something to make me like them.
Before I know I said a list before you go, Sarah. I'm gonna say Brayden and Tara are my winner picks.
You love Tara.
I love Tara.
So,
listen,
you're
only
Tara's
because
#1 fan. I think you are.
I gotta be.
I like to make some meat and potato salad.
Okay, do you guys want to share some socials though before we end the broadcast?
That was funny,
I go
Jeanette.
first. My Twitter is in my bio, or my name, SarahYell06. Right here.
Jeanette, sorry.
No, it's okay. So my Instagram's like right there, Earth Person, and my Twitter is Jeanette's Eviction. So Jeanette S Eviction, and yeah.
Okay, I'm Cheyenne New on all platforms. You can check out my YouTube channel. I've got some fact-based rants, some news stories, my own podcast, The Unorthodox Panel. You can check me on Twitter, Cheyenne New. But you may not like my opinions.
And I am Ganjo, at Ganjo the Dank 2. And that's GANJODADANK 2. Shout out to y'all. I tweet wild, but I'm a funny tweeter. So if you want to follow me,
I also tweet wild.
But I don't take things serious. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, just a nice
I'll
little
fight
one.
you.
Oh.
Now, he said he doesn't take things seriously. I do. So watch your words when you reply to me.
Oh my gosh. I want you to fight me. Oh my gosh. I just got like a little bit, whew, you know what I mean?
I'm ready.
Cheyenne, fight me.
What a way to end.
Okay, I guess just bye everyone.
Bye.